Welcome back guys to another video. But before we actually get into it, I want to say that I found out that almost 50% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel. And if you want to help me out, make sure to drop a like and make sure to subscribe. So bikes are really fun and there's a lot of stuff you can do in a bike. They can actually be really cool tools for creativity as well. And there's a wide variety of tricks that you can do on them. But a lot of these tricks are really difficult and they require a higher level of skill to actually pull off. So I decided I'd compile a list of my top 10 beginner mountain bike tricks, or just bike tricks in general. So for number 1 we have the wheelie. The wheelie is a really basic trick that makes you look awesome. It might look complicated, but trust me, it's not. If you want to learn how to do a wheelie in detail, I recommend you click the little information card that'll pop up right now and go check out my video on how to do a wheelie. But the basic premise of the wheelie is that you ride around your bike while balancing on your rear wheel. It might be a trick that takes a lot of practice, but it's definitely not hard at all. For number 2 we have the side hop. The side hop is a variation of the bunny hop, but in the bunny hop where you're just going straight up and down, the side hop you're actually going left or right. The side hop can actually be one of the most useful tricks you know if you're doing stuff for like trials, sometimes BMX, or if you're just in a really tight spot in a mountain bike. Before you start doing side hops, I recommend you start practicing bunny hops before that, because if you start off with side hops, which is an alternative way to do a bunny hop, and you don't know how to do a bunny hop, you're gonna have a really difficult time. But how to do a side hop? You basically just do a normal bunny hop while pulling your bike to one side. When you start off, you're gonna be better on one side than on the other. So I recommend you keep practicing on one side until you get it right. Just hop and pull your bike to one side. For number 3, we have the endo. It's a really simple trick, however it is a little bit dangerous. All you do is pull your front brake while lifting your legs up to get the back wheel forward. If you want to pull off a really aggressive endo, I recommend that you lean backwards and then forwards as you're pulling your front brake and as you're pulling your legs up. If you think you're gonna fall forward on your face, just let go of the rear brake, and if you're still behind the pivot point, your bike should fall backwards. For number 4, we have the seat surf. The seat surf is definitely one of the coolest tricks that you can perform on such a low skill level, because honestly, it's really simple. All you do, you grab some speed because you're not gonna be able to pedal, and you hop onto your seat using both your feet. Next up we have a slide. Now, whenever you're locking up your rear wheel or your front wheel, you never want to do it on pavement, because if you start skidding on pavement, it's really going to damage your tire and it's going to wear it out really quick. But basically the way you do this trick, you want to whip your bike. So steer outwards and then inwards, and as you're steering inwards, you want to pull your rear brake. As you pull your rear brake, you want to move your hips outward in order to get the tail of your bike to whip out. Next up is the seated Superman. Don't get this confused with the Superman. The Superman is a really advanced trick. This trick is basically putting your chest on your seat so that you look like you're flying. This trick is a little bit hard to do at the start, but once you figure out how to get into that position, it's a little bit easier. For this trick, I'd recommend putting both your feet on one side of the bicycle and then slowly putting your chest on your saddle in order to get to this position. Next up is the 1 foot, 1 arm. I don't really know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm gonna call it. It's basically you riding your bike with 1 foot and 1 arm. Pretty self-explanatory. Now if I were to give you a tip on this trick, I recommend you use opposite limbs, so your right arm and your left leg, or your left arm and your right leg. I feel like this gives you a lot more balance while doing this trick. Next up we have the prolonged slide. Now once again, you never want to do this in pavement. Now the way you do this, you want to get your body as forward as you can so you can get as much weight off the rear wheel as possible, and then lock up your rear wheel to initiate the slide. The more forward you are on your bicycle, the bigger the slide is going to be. Next up we have the bar twist. This trick is going to be really good, probably the first trick you want to do when you're starting off jumping. Basically, once you're airborne, you want to twist your bars either to the left or to the right. That's how you do a bar twist. You can practice the bar twist by just doing little bunny hops and twisting your bars as you're in the air. And finally, we have one of the most common tricks out there, the good old no-hander. This is when you ride your bike without any hands. I need to note, if you rock 800mm handlebars like me, it is going to be a little hard because your bike will have a tendency to turn on its own. But if you have this problem, you just have to grab a little more speed. So that's my list for my top 10 beginner mountain bike tricks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Actually, stick around for tomorrow's video because I have a feeling it's going to be really cool. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you actually went out and tried some of these tricks, don't be afraid to tell me in the comments. But that's it for me today. I'll see you tomorrow.